Good evening. I'm Melissa, your Chief Inspirational Officer with Cooking and Wine for Lovers. And welcome to experience number 5. Tonight we will have a spicy sausage gnocchi with a beautiful red Zinfandel.
I had a very early meeting this morning, so before I left the house, while Melissa was still sleeping, I got out the Cooking and Wine for Lovers wine glasses, put them out with a little note, told her how excited I was to do it tonight, and it just kind of builds anticipation all day. And then she saw it later when she went out and I got home and wrote me a note back. So when we got ready to do this tonight, it made it even more exciting. So babe, I remember the first day you wore this dress. It was on our 10-year wedding anniversary one night when we were in Antigua. And when you first put it on and came out, I think my heart lost a few beats. You look gorgeous. Tell us about this dress.
Thanks, babe. I found this dress online at Shein.com and I fell in love with it because it has these really cool little sunflower straps. It's so comfortable and light, and what I really like about it is I can dress it up with dress shoes, or just on our anniversary I wore flip-flops. So it's just really cool. It's nice and it's blue and it's cheerful and it's colorful, and I love it.
So I like this dress so much, sweetie, that it's actually the background on my iPhone right now. So you look great.
Thank you.
So tonight's wine is actually one of our favorites. It's a 2017 Red Zinfandel from Chateau Montelena in North Napa Valley. One of our favorite wines. Chateau Montelena is kind of similar to Stag's Leap we talked about in an earlier video. They got themselves on the map back in the 70s. They won the Judgment of Paris for their Chardonnay. As a matter of fact, if you want to see a great movie about it, and Melissa and I have actually watched this movie after Cooking and Wine for Lovers nights at home. It's called Bottle Shock. Great movie about the story of Chateau Montelena. But this is a fabulous wine. Zinfandels generally have a little bit of spice to them, and since we're having spicy gnocchi tonight, we figured this is a wine that goes pretty well. We've had it before, and it always tastes really well and pairs well with this wine. With this dinner. We are decanting this wine, and we've talked about this before. Zinfandels don't really need to be decanted, but we have all of these really cool decanters, and Melissa loved this one. I think I got it for her birthday a few years back, and it's just always fun to decant the wine, and it certainly doesn't hurt. So the wine is in the decanter. Melissa's going to pour it for us. So this one we don't have to decant for too long, so we can pour it right away and get ready to taste it. Now, but for this recipe, though, the most important thing to remember, and we'll talk about this when we do our ingredients, is we need to save about a half a cup of this wine because it's going into the dinner tonight. Melissa is now going to read us the tasting notes from the winemaker for this beautiful wine.
So it's brambly and dark with compounding waves of dried cherry, cedar, and Chinese 5-spice. The wine opens with effusive fruit and, after a few moments, fresh roses. It's spice that drives the finish with tension and grace as the fine grain tannins slowly give way to dark roasted coffee bean and a hint of lemon zest.
Sounds awesome.
Yay!
So this is always one of our favorite parts of the evening, which is we get to taste the wine.
Absolutely. And Zinfandel is one of our absolute favorite wines.
Cheers, sweetie.
Cheers.
I love these nights with you.
Me as well. Wow, doesn't disappoint.
Man, that's good.
Honey, tell us what the ingredients are for this evening's meal.
Thanks, babe. All right, we're coming in here, and we're going to start with 2 hot Italian sausage links, which I'm going to decase and break up, and then we're going to saute them. More importantly, we have a half a cup of that beautiful red wine we just poured. We have some olive oil. We have a can of roasted garlic diced tomatoes, Lowry's garlic salt as usual, garlic powder. We have some basil, and then we have some red hot chili peppers that I dried and cut up myself. And I did that myself, but you can always use some red chili peppers or any kind of pepper you like, or if you don't like it that spicy, you don't have to use that. Then I have a hot banana pepper right there on our Cooking and Wine for Lovers cutting board that I grew in the garden. And the cool thing about this one is I grew this about a year ago and stuck it in the freezer, and these peppers will last in the freezer for a tremendous amount of time. And they're a little bit soft when they come out, but they still have all the flavor. And then lastly, we have a plate of gnocchis, and I made the homemade gnocchi, but you can also buy this in the store. There's some great gnocchis out there, and it's just one of our favorite things because they're light and they're fluffy and they taste really good. And then we are going to get ready to make this meal.
I'm excited. Let's get going.
The very first thing we need to do in this meal is take another one of our ingredients, which is about a cup of diced mozzarella cheese. We're going to add some olive oil just to kind of sort of cover it. And then we're going to take just some regular store-bought minced garlic, because this is easy. We're going to put that with its sauce in there. About, I don't know, 2 to 3 tablespoons, depending how much garlic you like. Melissa and I love garlic, so we're going to put a lot in there. And then what we're going to do is let this garlic and this olive oil sort of seep into the mozzarella cubes while we make the rest of the meal. We're going to put it back in the fridge and then start the rest of the meal. The next step to make this spicy gnocchi meal is to get our saute pan ready. We're going to put a little bit of olive oil on the bottom, and then we're going to add our sausage, which I de-linked, and we're going to put it in here and we're going to break it up as much as we can. It takes a little bit of effort when it's still kind of raw. But then what we're going to do is we're going to take that sausage and we're going to season it with our garlic salt. Once again, this is to taste, and with our garlic powder. And that's all nice and seasoned. It's warming up on medium-high. We're going to get these cooking, and we'll be back with more. Our sausage is just about done. It's cooked all the way through. There's no more pink left. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the sausage out of the pan. Make sure you put it on a different plate than you had your raw sausage on. And let it sit there for a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add most of the rest of our ingredients. We're going to add our diced tomatoes. We're going to add this beautiful wine that we had. And one rule of cooking wine for lovers that I didn't invent but is true is that you should never cook with wine you wouldn't drink. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a tablespoon of basil, which we love. We're going to add those red hot chili peppers that I diced up earlier. And then we're going to add about another tablespoon or so of this minced garlic. It just adds a really nice flavor. And then what we're going to do is we're going to mix all this up. We're going to keep the heat about where it was on medium-high. And we're going to let this come to a boil. And then we're going to boil it, simmer it till it reduces to about half to make more of a sauce. So as soon as that's done, we will be back. As is always the case in cooking and wine, the most important step is to make sure the wine is still okay. And as it opens up, it is beautiful. So our tomato wine mixture is now reduced to it's nice and full. And what we're going to do is we're going to return the sausage to this mixture. Mix it in really good. That looks so yummy. It smells so good. And then what we did is while this was reducing, we got a pot of boiling water on the stove. We put a little bit of olive oil on there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put our gnocchis in here. And the gnocchis are interesting pasta. They don't take long to cook. And the best way to do this is get them in the water, stir them up really good, and then what's going to happen is as they float to the surface, you take the gnocchis out. Because when they float to the surface, they're done. But it takes maybe, 4 to 5 minutes for all the gnocchis to be done. So we're going to let them all float to the surface, we're going to get them out, and then we're going to put everything together to have the final part of our meal. So our gnocchis have completely boiled. They rose to the surface. We pull them out. They can be a little bit bland just out of the water, so we're going to season them with some garlic salt because that gives it just a great flavor. All right, we'll let that sit for a minute. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that mozzarella cheese, oil, and garlic that we did early on, and we're going to put it into our tomato sausage mixture. We're going to mix that around. Get it nice in there. And then what we're going to do is mix our gnocchi in there. And get the gnocchi all completely infused and mixed in and all that yumminess. And we're going to put it in a big bowl. And after we do that, Melissa's going to serve it for us. And we're going to go out and have dinner and finish this beautiful wine. Our gnocchi is done. I got it in this serving bowl. And Melissa is going to plate it up for us in our awesome little pasta bowls here. This is a wonderful meal. And the melted garlic just has a great addition to this. And then what she's going to do is going to add the grated Parmesan that we talked about back in our very first experience. And we're going to reiterate that that is the best thing ever. It's like not even a comparison to the store-bought stuff if you can do the fresh grated Parmesan.
And there you go.
All right, it looks beautiful. So dinner is ready. We're out here in this beautiful setup that my lovely wife has made for us, and it's another romantic evening at home. We're going to enjoy the dinner, enjoy the wine. I rented a movie tonight, so we're going to go in after this dinner and kind of check out and snuggle up on the couch and watch a great movie. And as always, honey, it's just been great.
It's awesome. And remember, the couple that cooks together stays together.
Absolutely, for sure.
Cheers.
Cheers, babe.
See you next time.
See you next time.